I want a sandwich. Now. Oh, sandwich wench. Yo, wench. Sandwich. Now. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. Sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. Sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich. Oh, sandwich wench. I want a sandwich. Sandwich.
Hello, everyone. Oh, my voice cracked. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another, political recap stream here on the Moisky Life channel. Sorry, my voice decided to go through puberty at 38. Joining me to talk about some stuff, no idea what, is Trups. Say hi, Trups. That was... Oh, hang on.
Mm.
I fucked it.
Ah, that's okay. We fixed it in post.
I didn't drag your audio up. So they didn't hear the satisfying sound. So I'll go and grab a cork.
Cork.
Yeah, I'll go and grab a cock. And I do have an IPA. I could pop that.
Mm.
That'd be close enough. Yeah, let's do that. I've got an IPA. Let's get my my newly purchased bottle opener and.
I like that sound.
Was that okay?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
right,
I like that.
That one. It was given to me. The IPA was given to me for Christmas, and I just used my Orc chopper bottle opener. I was very happy with myself.
Oh, very good.
Yes. How is Trups today?
I'm all right.
You're too
you
low.
know,
There we go.
I'm always doing something that seems to always involve spending money, whether I like it or not.
I kind of get that. I get that because I took extra money with me on Sunday when I went to go see Dragon Force.
Yes.
And I ended up spending all of that as well because I wanted the tour shirt. Now, being co-headline, Amaranth and Dragon Force had their own shirts. I wanted an Amaranth one because I've never had one of their shirts. And I thought, I've got loads of Dragon Force tour shirts. After the show, I also bought myself. I asked for a signed album. They gave me the freaking LP, so I've got a massive signed LP, which is cool. Got the wrong one. Paid a little bit more. Afterwards, I did buy a Dragon Force shirt, but a completely different one, and I bought some other little bits as well, which was nice, and a kebab because I was hungry after the gig. I didn't eat before the gig because I know what my body's like, and I don't want to use facilities on site.
Right.
Also, Dave and I managed to get right to the front. We were legitimately.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah, we were at. I mean, the only annoyance was obviously the speaker bit, but to be honest, I was happy to forfeit that part to not see even though the drums. Well, the drums look cool, but I didn't have to see them. But to be right at the front, guaranteeing no one taller than me, that was awesome.
Oh, true.
And the audio was
Poor
good.
guy in the back.
I would feel bad for him, but I was too busy laughing at all the crowd surfers, especially one person who crowd surfed about close to 30 times, walking around the front and going back. The 30th time was one too many. They had a seizure because of dehydration.
Oh no!
So they had to be carried out the side to paramedics, and Dave might have the video of this, of him putting the camera on my face and me crying with laughter at them as they're being carried past.
I feel terrible for stuff like that.
I would too, but turns out I don't care enough. They effed around and they found out. But it was a glorious gig. It was great atmosphere, and sad it's over. All three bands were great. But spent a bit too much money and had to put that back in savings, which is...
Yes. Well, I mean, I feel like people just happen to... you kind of go to a concert knowing about, like, hey...
Yep.
I'm about to drop like $100, maybe $150.
About that, yeah. That's about what I spent. Yeah. I was I just wanted to buy a nice, updated tour shirt essentially. I would argue.
Well, I mean, that's what I
Amaranth
did at Disturbed.
Yeah.
I bought a new Disturbed shirt, and it's nice.
My only sort of criticism is the Amaranth one was very minimalist, which I think, and their prices were a bit higher than Dragon Force's, which irked me when I noticed the quality of Amaranth was also lower than that of Dragon Force's. But Dragon Force are signed to Napalm, and Napalm will throw all the money at the merch. They really do. They're very consistent.
Win.
Yes, so I was very happy. And the vinyl, I've ordered a frame where you can put the vinyl on one side of the frame, and it's basically quite long. It's rectangular. The other side will have the art, so I can have the signed art and the vinyl present in a frame and hang that on the wall somewhere.
Pretty cool.
I thought so. Have a signed Dragon Force thing. That's kind of cool.
True.
How's your week been otherwise?
Otherwise, it's been on and off with different stuff. Nothing crazy to report.
No, that's good.
Nah.
At least. I've pretty much just been working. It's been silly busy this week. And obviously now we've got Easter. I've got nieces at home. I'm trying to.
I forgot that Easter was this weekend. Genuinely,
I did too until yesterday when Twitch people told me. I didn't know my nieces were off either, and I was like, well, this is going to be a pain in the ass, isn't it, now?
Yep, that sounds about right.
And I'm right, because those buggers have been making noise all day. Today's video took longer because I had to wait for them to stop screaming and record between it. I'm like, okay, on Monday, I'm going to go up to the cabin and just start recording up there instead, because I can't be arsed with this. They're far too loud.
Yes, I understand.
I am not happy.
All right, so where would you like to start?
I'm going to preface, for those who are interested on YouTube, who listen on Spotify perhaps, or on Rumble, this will be up tomorrow there. Pretty consistent for 1 week. I have, in the UK scene, the only thing people have been talking about really has been King Charles. Because obviously his health, he doesn't look so great at the moment. But that's what happens when you're fighting cancer. Sure. There's been discussion about the deputy leader of the Labour Party and her tax affairs. In truth, it's a mountain out of a molehill. Go figure, a brochurelist type pretending to be anything but, pretending to be something they're not, and having a second home or selling that second home and blah, blah, blah. I don't give a crap. It's really not newsworthy, and people are bitching about it. It's hilarious. There has been a lot in the way of discussion this week in the UK about the England flag, the St George's Cross, and the pride flag-esque iteration that I mentioned in yesterday's exhibition of stupid people on YouTube.
Yes, I watched that.
Now, I do think there's a valid point there. I understand the homage to the 1966 World Cup team. But for a Euro tournament, it made no sense. And second, we would not want that, and they would not either. Because this is very much our flag. If I took your flag now and bastardized it, like that, would you appreciate it?
Oh, absolutely not.
Why?
Well, because it's a pride point. It's a pride point, though. It's part of your identity. So it's part of, like, the whole idea of, like, a nation, right?
Yes, and that's the problem. A lot of people seem to think it's okay to crap on certain flags. The English flag, yes, is considered open to crap on. The Scottish flag, no, we can't do that. A Welsh, no, you can't do that. If I go to any other country, I can guarantee the majority will say, no, don't do that to our flag. But except for Germany, they're rocking some weird. They're going through some weird pink thing at the moment. It's kind of weird. But for a Euro tournament, to respect the World Cup winners made no sense. Oh, but it's about the 3 lions on the front. The 3 lions don't need to be there. You can change it for the England flag if you like. In fact, I would argue many more people would appreciate that as well on the front, not on the back of a collar hidden behind someone's hair where it will undoubtedly be.
True.
So I think it doesn't look like an homage to the team that won the World Cup in '66. It looks more like an iteration of the pride flag. And then they put the slogan of some kind of unity on it, and I thought, you've got leaders of parties on both sides of the Commons who agree that needs to change. And I can't going to change it, and the FA refused to change it as well. If players don't want to wear that, and some will undoubtedly not want to, they're going to refuse. It's going to cause a problem. some will have beliefs that say, no, that looks like a pride flag and I don't support that. And there are players who believe that. Certain faith-based individuals, and it gets quite messy.
Indeed.
From a political stance, this is quite fascinating to see that the two main parties agree with each other. As we're heading into election season, it's not really a key talking point right now.
Right.
And because we haven't actually announced the election yet, sod always happening, which is frustrating me a bit because I want to see what these idiots do. I know Labour are going to win. Keir would have to do something colossally dumb to lose, or his party would do for him. But since the Conservatives are busy fighting themselves, and in turn creating another political party called Reform UK from the more extreme Conservatives, or considered extreme Conservatives or defectors, I can see this ending quite poorly for the Conservatives being demolished even further into a smaller party where it would become a case of Conservatives having to form coalitions of different types of conservatism. Conservatism? Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Whereas Labour right now, they're not necessarily united, but they haven't had to deal with the issues that actually fracture them. Although they're still not doing so well because of the Hamas thing, which is oddly enough something in your country as well.
Fun story about that, actually. There was an interesting event that happened on, I think it was last Saturday, where there was a New York fundraiser, and it involved Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and Joe Biden.
Oh no!
In New York City, and they were basically, just pulling up, doing, money things.
As you do.
Yep. Apparently, according to, I think it was CNN, they were apparently handing out, like, you can get a picture, like, dapping up Obama or Joe Biden for $100,000.
I'm sorry,
like,
what?
oh, okay.
How much?
Yeah.
To what with them?
It's basically, it's like low five. It's a greeting of sorts. Was dapping up is the phrase.
I've never heard that. That is the most expensive, pointless touching I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I think you get more action. I'm pretty sure you can get more action out of a high-end hooker. Maybe I should ask.
I'm sorry. It was a Thursday evening fundraiser, so it was yesterday.
Because the date changes everything.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to be more correct.
That's fair. Someone would undoubtedly correct you. I think the idea of paying for what can be considered a pointless high five, I would rather go and donate it to someone's Patreon.
Now, fun story about that. The contrast. So that's what they were doing last night, and Trump was in a different part of New York.
Yeah, what was he doing?
Honoring a fallen officer.
So that's interesting. It's very interesting because that's the second time I've heard of his involvement in a tragedy or a bereavement, a suffering of some kind, and at the same time, the other political wing are not doing that. They're doing something completely. That's a complete swerve.
Mm-hmm.
Trump on the side of optics looks better, really, but not that anyone would ever credit him for that in mainstream, because the more mainstream that we hear about would undoubtedly just say, no, he's bad. It's the Trump man bad shit. And hi, Orla, by the way, hope you're well. And
just for a point, the New York police officer, it was awake because he died at a traffic stop that he was conducting where he was shot and killed 4 days ago.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah, man. At the Mayor Adams, Donald Trump, those people went to the wake.
Mayor Adams is. Hang on, wait. Is
He's the former cop.
Right. I'm curious of political leaning on the mayor.
He's Democratic.
Really? Oh, that's actually, for the sake of that mayor to be in the same space as Trump, that's actually very respectable.
It's I think it was something that I will give some respect towards, is usually when it comes down to individuals in the military or in police.
Yeah.
Barring a handful of specific instances, most of them, when they're in the line of duty, they don't care about your political leanings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for Mayor Adams in this case, I think this was less about a political thing. I think this was more about somebody who he has kinship with, being an officer,
Yeah.
and paying respects to the badge and whatnot. I think this is prior to him selling his soul as a Democratic pundit.
I can appreciate that. Regardless,
Mm-hmm.
you're there to pay respect because blood brothers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that. I really do, and I at the same time, it's the fact that someone is willing to be in the same space, even though you don't share their views. I can appreciate you're able to put that to one side for a bigger picture. And I mean, I can understand why Biden wouldn't. Maybe not Biden. I can understand why Clinton and Obama wouldn't be there. They're not current acting serving presidents. Biden, though, he's in that area. Like, you're in the area. Why would you?
Yeah.
That makes very little sense to me. I get not wanting to be in the same space as Trump, but Trump's actually managed to usurp the narrative in that respect.
He did very well, actually.
And he's done it. He did it with the Laken tragedy as well.
He did very much so. Which I think is, I mean, he takes a good win for that.
I know that we shouldn't be saying that tragedies can be considered wins, but that there is an optic side to this in the political game that completely circumvents the concept of that.
Well, I mean, even I mean, we can further expand. Like when you say, "Oh, this," showing your efforts as part of a memorial, being a political win, is not because like, oh yay, person's dead. No, that's not the case, and nor will it ever be. Entirely, that is because of it speaks to character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a valid point to make. It's just a shame that when it comes to that wider point and covering such things, and it is right to, for the sake of integrity, to point that out, there is a complete lack thereof when it comes to those that report on it.
Right.
And that's why it can become quite frustrating, I find. I'm sure you have found it quite frustrating over the many years you've been doing this. I mean, we from time to time have said, this is boring, because it's the same crap over and over again. Ola, I'm just going to quickly... the economy is recovering, up 0.3%, is no windfall, and we now have 18% of the country under the poverty line. Well, that's fantastic. We're doing really well. Hopefully by the end of the year we'll get up to 35. We've got to shoot for goals and get everyone into poverty. That way no one's in poverty because we're all suffering together. Hi, Joker. And yes, I'm being sarcastic to anyone listening. I am obviously joking. I would never want anyone to suffer. Sadly, there is no such thing as a society... I need to cough. Sorry. There is no such thing as a... The S's are fucking me up. There is no such thing as a society that could ever exist that is perfect or utopia in design. Quite frustratingly, it will never be resolved. And the narrative of absolute and relative poverty is often, depending on which political party is in charge, will often cause problems as to which type of poverty we're actually discussing. And I get quite frustrated. Okay, I'm just going to stammer my way through this one. Frustrated at the arguments for and against absolute and for and against relative. Hope that answers. Okay, the tragedy aside with the police officer, should we perhaps use that as an excuse to continue the tragedy discussion? Or
we could... Okay, go on.
Or do you want to talk about Trump? The tragedy one continuing, or...
Well, I wanted to... kind of full circle it as to why I brought up as a response to when you said Hamas.
Yeah.
So this fundraiser that they did.
Oh, right. Yes, I forgot about
it
that.
was interrupted 5 times by protesters asking for a ceasefire.
You can't ask an American government or American officials to ask for a ceasefire in a region they have no actual control over.
True. People, and this was actually a comment that I heard on MSNBC. MSNBC said that Russia seems to believe that the United States has the ability to just tell the West, meaning Europe, what to do. And this is kind of, but not really true.
So I can
We
add
have heavy sway, but
I'd like to add something to that then that might help.
okay.
Vice President Kamala Harris warned Israel against a military offensive in Rafah while boasting, "I have studied the maps." Harris has, and it says I've got an article here. Her expertise on the Middle East are considered close to zero. She saw fit to berate America's closest ally in the region on its own counterterrorism policy, which has been dubbed arrogance being breathtaking and ignorance of the complexities on the ground as simply stunning. She is trying to fob herself off as an expert in Middle East culture and history. We're talking millennia of history. And she believes by studying the maps, she has a handle on this. But it's not about the maps, is it? Hell, some of those maps don't even recognize Israel as a country because history goes back far enough. It's not like that. It wasn't that long ago.
True.
I'm gonna, for those who are interested, she's being considered at this point a Hamas useful idiot and a major liability to the Biden campaign. I kind of agree because she is also pushing for a ceasefire, but not knowing why.
Okay.
I just want to add her as another point of stupidity within this realm of discussion.
Interesting.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with any of that really.
Yeah, it was one of those random speeches she'd made. Where was it? I think it was ABC News. Yeah, it was an interview with ABC News. Where was it? So the article itself mostly focused on the fact that her policy statements and speeches displayed a frequent and staggering lack of knowledge. For example, the border czar, southern border problem, since 9 million illegal migrants have crossed since 2021. It's not a good look, really, is it?
No.
I thought it just tied in with what you were talking about with ignorance on situations.
Oh, that's all right. I just wanted to basically bring it up. I mean, of course she is. Look, I still don't believe that she has any actual use in this in this world, in this campaign. I still think she's absolute fucking garbage. And that will never change. Never change. She is stuck that way because I don't. She's a token. I'm sorry, she's a token. They made that perfectly clear when they took her on the first time.
Again, I don't understand why she was ever chosen in the first place.
Well, that's the thing. It was to fill a quota.
It was a pointless one. Again, she got annihilated. All to look good. They could have gone. I mean, they could have gone with Cory Booker.
True.
There's your quota. Just put a wig on him. His big bald head.
Oh yes, especially when he tries to speak Spanish. Oh, it hurts my soul.
I've had that with England football managers who go to other countries to manage teams, and then they get asked interviews, and they've somehow their accent, which is regional in my country, has changed to a completely foreign accent, and it is absolutely my favorite thing in the world to listen to them speaking in a German or a Dutch or an Italian accent. I had a friend who lived in Liverpool for 2 weeks. He came back and started speaking as if he was Scouse. I've never slapped a guy so hard in my life and watched his mouth change to catch up with the rest of him.
I'm happy to say I don't know off the top of my... Like, people will mention British accents, and I'm like, yep, those exist. I don't know, like, what is Birmingham? What is Scouse? What is Cockney? Well, I know Birmingham just because of...
It's a depressing place. That's basically...
Is it John Bishop, I think, is the only reason why I know Birmingham accent?
Ozzy Osbourne. He's Birmingham.
Oh, okay.
John Bishop, the comedian, is as well. Scouse is... I don't want to try and emulate it because it's men have a higher pitch.
Give me a person who would have this.
Steven Gerrard, Jemmy Carragher, football players. The only thing is, Scouser accents for girls is deeper. The men's goes up 2 octaves, and it's quite, and so their voices are higher than their partners.
I see.
Some in the north have a sort of men and women have. The men have very deep but warm voices. The women have deep and also warm but very harsh accents. Well, depending on which region as well, because you've got Newcastle and they can sound lovely, but they also sound dyslexic. But that's because I'm from the south and I think everyone above me is dyslexic. Yes, I'm from the south. You noticed. Different kind of south.
I knew that.
Oh, I'm referring to the chat. Someone will get that joke. It's not a Michael McIntyre joke, a comedian here. He was on stage at some place in the north and he said, I'm from the south, noticed, and pulls a really posh face as well doing it. I love it. It's one of my favourite things ever. And Scotland should be burnt to the ground. Who said that? Regional accent's a thing. It's a thing because you've got Midlanders, you've got Southern, Southwest, you've got different accents in each county, and there are multiple different accents in those counties. It's ridiculous how many different accents there are. Don't forget here, I'm maybe from the south like my sisters, but I don't sound anything like them. They all sound like chaps, whereas I sound like a posh twat or an educated man, as I like to reference myself.
Yes, that was certainly something.
Yeah, I've developed a bit of a stammer of late. I think it's because I've been recording too much.
Haha.
It flares up when I work a bit when I do too much on the computer. Otherwise, it vanishes. Embarrassingly so. Yeah. Anyway,
yes,
carry
indeed.
on.
All right. Well, shall we go into the larger topic because I think it's interesting.
The tragedy or Trump?
Trump.
All right.
Oh, I guess, yeah, okay.
That's why I mentioned. I figured.
Yeah.
Because
I see your point.
It would make more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you're right. All right,
so
let's quickly touch on that.
I'm gonna say now. When I first saw this, I saw it trending on Twitter. I saw the videos, and I thought somebody was doing. I thought it was an NPC video from a game like Fishing Simulator, because I've seen the boat movement in the video, and it looked like something I'd seen out of Fishing Simulator, where I've seen the boat just suddenly spin on the. It looked like it spun on the spot because of the angle.
Yep.
And so I watched this video, and I'm sat there like, okay, what am I watching? And then I saw the bridge go, and I'm like, well, shit. If that ain't video game footage, this is really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so at some point during the week, I can't remember which day, the Baltimore Bridge was brought down by a cargo container ship, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It was. I saw the cargo containers. I figured it was. The boat... something was a bit odd about what I saw, and I do remember seeing all the conspiracy theories. I'm not going to run with any of that. I will not at all, because I don't really want to believe any of that right now. There were cars on that bridge, and I hope they found everyone. I hope everyone's all right. It was, and I did see that Biden had put out a statement on it and said the bridge will be rebuilt, and that he handled that correctly. Can't be faulted. He was on it. His handlers clearly gave him the right statement, and he's optics wise, he's done the right thing. But the boat looked. I don't know what that was. That turn was. I'm sorry, but I'm looking at the angle again, not on the screen. I'm not going to play it for those who are curious. I won't do that. It looked a bit weird that it turned when it did.
Turns out there actually is a good explanation as to why it turned.
Was it an electronic fail or?
Well, yes, but also because they dropped the anchor.
So I didn't know the anchor part. I knew the electronic failure part because I didn't. That's where I saw the conspiracies. Like, it was a Russian hack, a Chinese hack. I'm like, No, it wasn't a freaking DDoS attack. Don't try me.
No.
All right, that's not how this works.
I've avoided talking about the indulging the conspiracies as well.
Yeah.
Mostly just because I'm like, come on, man, really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, before I continue, hello, Joker and Number One. Hope you're well. Carry on. Do you think? Why did actually? Do you know why the anchor got dropped?
Yeah, because they were trying to stop it.
Oh, so
they were trying to. So it was a left side anchor.
that explains the turn.
Which ended up pulling it to the right.
Port side. It means port side.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it for the non-nautical.
I had to learn this. I'm sorry, they will have to catch up with us then.
Look, I've been playing World of Warships. I know too, but I'm just,
I do fishing simulator. Yes.
the only reason I know port side is because port and left have the same amount of letters.
Oh, okay.
And that was how I learned.
I remembered it because it was screamed at me multiple times by people on my Discord server that I banned.
I'm glad they live rent free in your head.
Yeah, fuck.
But no, so it was a port side anchor, and basically what they tried to do was they tried to drop it there, so that it would turn the other direction.
They did too late, didn't they?
Yes, and also the current pushed it so that it actually went right.
That would explain it, because when you said left side, and I was thinking, oh, if it actually went the left side, it would have turned left. Something must have gone wrong for that to work.
It landed on the right side of the boat.
Yeah.
So the axis that you would rotate around ended up being slightly more to the right.
I remember seeing lots of people tweeting, well, that the people on that boat are about to get fired. And I'm like, until we know for certain what actually happened with the computer failure, I don't want to assign blame because I don't actually understand, and that's why I don't want to comment too much. It's a tragedy what's happened.
Right.
I don't want to believe that it was done intentionally, because that's a bridge, that vitally important bridge.
It is.
And so it has to be rebuilt quickly if they can, when they can. They have no choice. This is going to be like when there's a pothole in the middle of a Japanese road. You know, the pothole is full. The road is re-established within an hour. It's barely blocked off at all. This bridge has to be rebuilt quickly.
Yes,
Perhaps a little bit stronger.
So a little bit of the background of it. So somewhere along the line, I don't know at what. So basically, the path of trajectory here was that it took off. It left its docked location, did a wide left turn because it's a large vessel. Notably without tugboats in a very tight corridor. Somebody who had been in the industry was like, usually that's done with tugboats. That's weird. They didn't. Maybe it was because it was 1:30 a.m. and they couldn't access those. I don't know. Weird. But it took a wide turn. Somewhere along the line, after it straightened out, it lost power. When it reestablished power, it launched a mayday to the Bridge and Port Authority, who shut down the bridge to traffic. This is all like the reporting that I got.
Yeah.
Shut down the bridge to traffic and kept people from basically driving their cars onto what it was about to potentially be bad, and then it was. And so then while they tried to reestablish control, that didn't pan out so good, and well, you know the rest.
Yeah.
8 people who were part of a construction team on top of the building, or on top of the structure, were considered in a search and rescue situation. Last I heard, have not checked, but I'm pretty sure they rescued 2 of them. One was in critical, one was relatively unscathed. And that was about it. The rest of them are now on recovery. So,
well, I'm glad that that they have found. I know that there was a thing that when I'd seen Biden's statement, he'd indicated there were a number that were unaccounted for.
6.
Have they been found yet? Do we know?
We are now presuming we are doing a recovery mission at this point.
Oh dear. Well, that is
So
unfortunate. While obviously justice for those families, again, I'm not going to presume guilt on the boat or those on that boat because we don't know the full context,
mhm.
and it's a messy one. But hopefully they'll resolve it quick enough that they can get that bridge up and built because they can't rebuild the bridge if it's a crime scene or anything.
Right, and that was, I think, why they did not want to um, do this as a. So the mayor had come out and he had basically said that they were not going to do an investigation. And when people were criticizing, like, what do you mean you're not going to do an investigation? The opinions of those out there were basically, you investigate when things are wrong. Nothing was wrong. We know what happened. The Mayday call went through. Like, all this stuff was already there. It doesn't really sit well with a lot of people to at least not run a at least cursory investigation to make
Yes.
sure all was on the up and up, and it makes everyone
I get
feel
that. I do think,
uncomfy.
yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of discussion on that. You're never going to appease. There's always going to be a group that will say, no, they should be hung, they should be executed, they committed mass murder. There's always going to be that reactionary, very reactive, volatile person, and I understand that. I really do. And Joker, I'm not saying that on this stream because that would get me a strike. Thank you. But yeah, as long as you say the Mayday went through, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then this is not. At the time of it was, if there was a gap, if it happened before, yeah, no, there is. Now we know something is definitely up. They could not prevent it, and it's understandable.
Right.
But again, I'd wait for more to come out before commenting any further. And we did. We of course have to mention it because it was all over Twitter. It was trending. It was all over the news everywhere.
Oh, it was shocking. I mean, I saw it the morning after. Like, I woke up, was getting ready for work, and scrolling through TikTok, and I see a bridge crumble, and I was just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what? What happened here? Oh my god!"
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, that was exactly what happened. Fucking nutty, dude. But that was basically the whole shtick. I mean, I'm not a big fan of seeing most of this, but it is what it is. But yeah, so there's your tragedy. If more information comes out, like, I'm sure we'll talk about it again. But until then, I mean, as best we got is what we just told you. Well, I honestly, I kind of hope that there's not more.
I hope so. I hope this is all resolved and things can balance will be restored of some kind soon.
The balance will be restored to the force.
Yeah, well, that the bridge ideally being rebuilt. There you go.
Well, yeah, ideally.
Yeah,
Yep, I agree.
Okay, so Trump, he's going to go broke soon, yeah.
No, apparently he pulled out some wonky shit, dude. Basically, Monday originally was to be the day that he was supposed to basically give up the ghost or go to prison or lose his stuff. Really, not go to prison. He was supposed to give that 465, basically $500 million to court, or else he may lose his assets. Well, turns out that an appeals court of New York basically said, "No, you know what? We'll accept your bond situation here, and we'll accept what you are providing to us as your good faith effort to try and actually get the stuff going."
Yeah.
We'll take that good faith effort and we will basically let you off the hook for now. They reduced his required payment and basically made it so that he could have some time to actually pay it back. 175 million was the number they lowered it to. And Democrats everywhere are furious.
I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I'm also kind of relieved because their spurging is quite delicious.
Indeed.
Although I need to look it all up now because I didn't know before we started. And this is no lie. I was really struggling to find a thumbnail for this, and so Traps have mentioned this changing because I looked him up, Trump up, and it didn't. I didn't on my end. I looked up his whether he got assets seized or anything, and I had nothing. There was nothing referencing the fine being reduced.
Yes, so I have it here. A 5-panel judge of appeals agreed Monday to put the collection on hold if Trump puts up 175 million within 10 days. It was a considerable reprieve, especially given that one of the judges had turned down Trump's earlier offer of a $100 million bond. And that was that's the web archive link that I sent you that I was reading.
Thank you.
Yes. Trump's lawyer said that he was unable to arrange such an enormous bond. They said potential underwriters were requiring 120% of the judgment, or over $557 million in collateral, and would only take cash or other liquid assets, not real estate. So that was one of the given reasons as to why that wasn't working out for him.
Okay.
So, yes, now his expected payment should have to go through by, I believe, the 3rd of April, 3rd or 4th of April, where he has to then put up $175 million instead.
It's not too bad to be able to do this appeal.
Well, apparently, he actually does have that money. And not only does he have that money, but he recently did something very interesting.
Oh.
And I don't know if you've noticed. But he has recently put up his True Social as a publicly traded stock.
Oh, I knew that was going to happen because his value was then going to his net worth would shoot up about $3 billion because of his shares.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know it actually happened yet.
Yes, indeed. His market value, he based on his 58% ownership in the now trading ticker called DJT, of course it is. He is now worth about $3 billion.
So I know I had mentioned, I think, to you that if he did decide to sell his shares, he would have to wait 6 months to be able to do this. Which is a fairly lengthy amount of time, but I understand why, while the market stabilizes and all that, to make sure they're not there's no shenanigans involved. He's not trying to short the market or something, I guess.
True.
I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out, to be honest, because they can't seize those assets because obviously that's in flux. Can't seize the properties now because, well, that failed, didn't it? Because essentially his bond is lower and he could pay that fine. It's just done, isn't it?
The fine would be fine for now. However, if it goes beyond, what's it called? God, I'm losing my train of thought.
It's
If
'cause
if the appeal fails,
yeah,
he'll still owe that money.
right. But isn't that money in the bond?
Yes, but so I think what they're doing specifically by lowering this bond is they're giving him an out so that he doesn't lose everything. You know what I mean? Like they're putting collection on hold if he can put up 175 million within 10 days. Meaning that the court won't come to collect the full amount. But if he fails his appeal, it still will be a full amount.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I do get it. I understand that now.
Yeah.
Makes more sense when you
pay it in pennies.
I honestly I don't know who it was. It might have been you. The idea. Oh no, who said it to me? Was it you? Was it someone else? Him rocking up with the money in like single dollar bills and just presenting it to the judge. Like it's like a scene out of Better Call Saul.
I don't think it was me, but somebody definitely came up with that.
Somebody said it, and the idea of rocking up with single dollar bills or cents, and it's again a scene from Better Call Saul. Saul had to travel across Mexico to go and get Lila one of the Salamanca guys' money, several $1 million in cash, carry it across a desert because of an attack, and then he presented the money to people at some kind of office where the court place take the money from the fines, and he gave them the $7 million in cash. Like I can imagine doing it with hundreds of millions, have pallets turn up, and you're like, there you go, get to work. I honestly, that would be the biggest like dickhead and G move, to just turn up with all this money in lorries and be like, there's your fine, go on then, start counting. Now, just have it so you're $1 short on purpose, and just be like, oh, I guess I'll pay that one extra. There you go, on my wallet. I'll open it for you. I like that.
I mean, yeah, that's basically it.
It's kind of hard. I like it. I would definitely support that if that is what someone does.
Indeed. I don't know where it's going to go from here, though. So, except for the fact that he has the opportunity to now actually not lose.
Well,
he has the opportunity to not die.
Well, it's interesting. Well, it's interesting to me because obviously we've seen people making light of the situation and mocking him, but how did he manage to get the fine reduced in the first place?
I think by pure fucking luck. I'll be honest.
Because I would have thought somebody would just be like, no, keep the fine. You do that. Thank you. We'll take all 400+ million of it. Thank you. But this one seems to be different. I don't know whether it was who ruled on that.
Great question. Except for 5 panel of judges, basically were the ones to say, "Oh yeah, we'll do it."
Fair enough.
Yep. I couldn't tell you as to why, but it's just the way that it is.
Okay.
I think maybe it was his attorneys who were basically trying over and over again to get something going. Because he's basically been fighting this legal battle forever. And basically all the things that he's been doing is he's just been putting in motion after motion after motion. And every single one of these court cases either saying, give me a break, or this is not relevant, or this, I have immunity. And he's basically been swarming every single court with these motions.
Yeah.
Eventually, I presume one of them just went, you know what? We'll give him a break. Fuck. Because, let's be honest for a second. Let's say that the I think honestly this 5 panel of judges saved their ass.
You think so?
Okay. If they had come to collect Donald Trump's stuff, they would have single-handedly handed him the election.
So I've seen a few polls of late that seem to indicate when there's not a third party involved, Biden somehow has the edge on Trump. And I'm just sat here like, bitch, what? Shut up. Polls mostly show Trump in the lead.
True. And I don't know who on earth is coming up with these other
It was
polls.
I'll quickly go and look it up because I'll look it up.
Mm-hmm.
New poll shows him leading except when a third-party candidate is factored in. It's from The Independent, so it's a left-leaning pile of shite. I'll link it to you if you want to have something to masturbate over later.
Sure.
Or print it out and wipe your ass with it, whichever's easiest. Hi, Elena.
Ooh.
Hope you're well. Hello, anyone that's joined today. I may have forgotten to set this stream up earlier, so and also it's Easter weekend, so I don't expect many of you lovely folks to join us, but we're very grateful you all have. Thank you. Don't mind us, we're boomering. I am anyway.
Oh yes, I like boomers. I don't.
We stream.
You're not actually a boomer, right?
No, I'm one of the older millennials. I'm close to the very beginning of the millennial sort of age bracket.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, you're not actually one of them,
No,
right?
no, I just get called it from time to time. Not that I give a shit.
Oh, you caring? What?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, it broke my Bowtruckle pen. I'm upset now.
Bowtruckle?
It's a Harry Potter creature.
Oh.
One of the ears is missing. It's a leaf. I'm going to cry now.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
pour one out for your Bowtruckle. Sounds like an inappropriate something.
I could, to be fair, it is an IPA and I'm not overly fond of it. I might have to get rid of that because I don't like it. I only opened it for to be fair, as a Christmas gift, and I don't really give a shit about it. I don't really drink IPAs.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But
okay.
yeah, the most unusual thing about like some of those polls is that there's no way in hell. I genuinely think that some of the people who are responsible for either the news reporting or just the polling, I think they're fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people have genuinely wanted to say that crime is down year after year.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Wow, that's a bold,
bullshit.
bold thought.
It's a lie.
Totally. But interesting that they'll go down that road.
Yeah.
Okay, so crime is down, and then they're like, yeah, it's a perception thing, maybe. You know, kind of like the people who say the economy is bad. There's so many indicators to say the economy is good.
Fam, your
and I'm like, are you insane?
Your economy is no better than ours. Get their high fucking horses on that bullshit.
Oh my god, it's not even like smelling their own farts. It's actually huffing gas.
They're huffing glue at the very least.
I cannot believe for a second that there is any person out there who genuinely looks at what we're all going through and says, yes, it is 100% a perception thing that the economy is actually great. The moment that somebody says that the economy is good, I go, for you. The economy is good for you. You people. Not us people.
Absolute morons.
I can't stand it.
I'm kind of with you on this one because it makes no sense to be so intentionally and willfully ignorant. But then I kind of get it because it's that thing of people in the cities don't really understand the rest of the country.
Well, it's not even that. It's rich people. The media personalities all have very cushy jobs, and they all get paid because their personality is their profession.
Yeah. Mine's the lack thereof.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do what I can. Consistent.
But yeah, that's like, how do you you people?
Something bothering you there, Trups?
I can't stand people, dude.
kind of
I can't stand people who will come out and make such stupid comments, especially the people who are supposed to be like the ones that are like, oh yeah, I'm here to be the person to give you the news and unbiased news that. I'm like,
You sound like Bill Clinton.
You're full of shit.
They are. I am 100% in your favor.
That's why it upsets me, really.
There is a complete lack of news coverage in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit disappointing.
But yeah, that's why it pisses me off.
I get that. Is there anything else going on in the news this week for you?
Not really.
Okay.
They're basically just running around doing campaign stuff. I mean, Biden made $26 million from that fundraiser that he did. Yeah.
Oh, he should give that to Palestine to help him out.
No.
If he really cares.
Oh, totally. Just like we gave money to the Taliban, that worked out real good.
Oh, I'm sure he signed off on that one too.
He did.
Lol.
And the thing that's really funny is that they try to argue that the Democrats are still the party of the working class. That can't be true. It literally is impossible to be true at this point.
How do they represent the working class?
They say so.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize we were doing Stone Cold here.
Yeah, no, that's quite literally it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm for unions. I'm like, aren't unions like basically bullies? And like they protect the worker, but don't they also exploit the worker? Okay. Oh yeah, well we're for. Well, you're not for oil. You're not for coal jobs. You're not for
So you're for destroying jobs. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're not for service members. They're not for cops. Like, what are you actually for? From the blue collar standpoint, because it doesn't sound much.
It kind of sounds like crap, to be honest.
It does. So yeah, that's basically my life right now, or Americans' life. It's pretty shit. It's pretty shit, to be honest.
It does sound it, to be honest, doesn't it? Oh dear, oh dear.
I wish it were better, but I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I don't either. It's kind of been dead.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's okay. We can finish a little earlier today, can't we?
Yeah, of course.
It's Easter weekend, so it's all good. Hi, Leona. Hi, Michael. Do apologise, but we're going to end here because we have nothing else to talk about today, fam. Sorry.
True. Go enjoy all of your chocolate.
Lucky bastards.
And your candy.
I don't have any.
Jelly beans and whatnot.
I want an Easter egg. I don't have any.
Sad
face. Nah, I'm on a shred thing now, so I'm not doing that. Yeah, shred season begins. We're all good.
Understandable.
Are we here next week, Trups?
I think so. What is that? The 5th? Yeah, we are.
Okay, good. For those who are in the UK, in America, UK, whatever, at the same time in America as this week, of course, but obviously the UK folks, it'll be 9:45 p.m. because we have our daylight clock so forward an hour on Sunday. Thank you all for being here. This will be up on Spotify tomorrow and on Rumble. There's nothing else to add. Nope. Say good night, Trups.